Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning into Wingate Solutions. I hope you're doing well. I'm out in the woods today doing a cold weather training session, so I figure I'd bring you guys along. All right, let's get into it. All right, guys, I'm going to keep this session pretty short because it's cold. You might be able to tell even from me talking. It's like about 0 degrees Fahrenheit right now, maybe a few degrees warmer than that, but it was in the negatives last night. It's pretty dang cold out today. Beautiful out, just snowed yesterday again, so got a nice fresh coating of snow. I love being out here this time of year, so good time to test some of my gear. Specifically, I'm running this 16-inch SPR-ish rifle today. You guys have seen these a few times on the channel. You know, it's kind of what I like to use as my main squeeze rifles. It's just that Black Series Hanson barrel that I tested the other day. So specifically, we're going to see if the lube that I have in this gun can handle being out in the cold. I had this thing out in the garage last night, so we'll see if it can handle being in this cold of a temperature, whether or not that'll be a hindrance to it. So something to think about if you guys live in colder environments. Make sure the weapon lubes you're using can handle being in this cold of an environment. Specifically, if your rifle would be outside for hours at a time or stored in a vehicle, that sort of thing. Make sure you can rely on that weapon lube actually working for you when it's cold out. So something to think about. Anyway, I'm just going to start with some Barricade work and we'll kind of flow with it from there. I only have about 40 rounds of rifle with me, so it's going to be a pretty inexpensive training session, but let's do it. I got some steel hung up on the hill. I'm just going to focus on this one that I can see pretty clearly from here. It's about 50 yards up the hill, so I'm just going to do some shots from different positions, kind of work on that. Not on a timer or anything today, keeping it kind of simple. It's okay just to have fun and kind of test some stuff here and there, and who doesn't want to be out in the snow training? All right, let's do it. Nice. I was aiming a little too small on that. Not it's a bad thing, there's a time and a place, but I was kind of stacking those rounds. I can get away with a little bit more speed with this size target I have up there, so I gotta remember that's okay to kind of push that a little bit. Anyway, let's do a few more. I'll do some pairs. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Ooh. It's also something to take note is losing dexterity when it's cold out. Running a rifle is not that big of a deal until you're like in mittens temperatures, which I kind of am close to now. If I was out here all day, I'd have to have my hands in a hand warmer most of the day. Like my hands are cold right now. But running the controls on these rifles when it's cold kind of tests you a little bit, especially finding that safety. I know some guys kind of get a little weird in the comments about running the safety between different positions or running the safety between wide target spreads or anytime you move, that sort of thing. Guys get kind of weird about that and they think you're just going to die in the street because you run your safety. You absolutely should be running your safety in training, especially to the point where it's subconscious, specifically between targets. You're moving, it doesn't take any more time. Run the safety, that way it's always something you're doing, so you're not going to forget or be unknown whether it's on or off. It's just easier to have that built into your training. But anyway, that's something I could do an entire video on because it comes up constantly that guys, and I'm assuming a lot of them are real old school guys that were trained a little bit differently decades ago at this point, or were trained by those guys not too long ago and just haven't really been, I don't want to say modernized, because it's been a long time that guys have been pushing the idea of running your safety and training and run it to that subconscious level. Like guys like Pat Mack, when Delta guys are teaching it, it's important to me, and not because they're so high speed. It's because there's a reason for it, right? They've learned the hard lessons as to why they should implement those practices into training, because they did it for real at such a high level. Does that make sense? Guys also take it the other way and go, oh, well, we're not at that high level, so we need to dumb everything down to like monkey brain. I don't agree with that either. I think we should hold ourselves to the same standard as far as what we're trying to accomplish, and that is building the subconscious ability to manipulate this rifle under stress, right? And you should definitely be able to do it in training. If you fall apart a little bit in real life, or maybe if you didn't use your safety for a split second, it's probably not going to be the end of the world. But we can avoid a lot of catastrophe by doing it right, correctly in training, that sort of thing. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox on that. I know it's just something that guys bring up a lot of, and I don't agree with it. Clearly, you guys can see me moving from position to position. The time that I'm breaking the rifle down to move to another position, flicking that safety on and off, that is not at all adding time to what I'm doing. If anything, it's my eyes interacting through the optic, getting an acceptable sight picture, making that conscious decision to press the trigger. That's where the time lies. Flipping that safety is irrelevant, right? So just something to think about. Anyway, let's get shooting. I'm going to do a couple of these more unconventional positions. I can't do the real low ones in this spot just because the way the hill is, I can't really see the target. So I'll see what I can do. If I can get pretty low, I will. All right. Pretty good on rounds. And let's just start with the holes. Oh yeah. Let's see if I can get this one. Nice. Ooh, yeah, that's cold. Love it. All right, guys, usually I wait till the end to kind of plug my business. So I'm going to do it now. I've been kind of meaning to bring it up sooner because I know some guys do click away before the end. And let's be honest, like I do this sort of content to give back information for you guys. I think it's kind of fun. I think guys enjoy the content, but it's also to market my small business. So it is what it is. That's me being transparent. I'm not going to pretend like that's not at all the point of having Wingate Solutions. But if you look us up, Wingate Solutions LLC, we have a website. We do make handmade rifle slings, sling retention straps, holster leg straps. We got some other cool things down the pipeline, but we're very, very small. Just myself. My wife helps out with sewing. It's pretty awesome. It kind of allowed us to take the leap of getting away from the urban area where we're from, move to the country, and start a life for our family out here. So it was kind of our inspiration for getting this lifestyle going for us. So that's really why I do these videos for you guys. I enjoy putting out the content. I enjoy if I'm able to teach people things and kind of promote the 2A mindset. That's absolutely the main reason, but it's also the fact that it promotes my business. So I really appreciate you guys if you want to check into it. Don't buy stuff from me if you don't need it, but if you find yourself needing another rifle sling or two, it'd be awesome if you check this out. I got a couple rounds. I'll just go till I hit a reload. I'll go till I hit a reload, then we'll do something a little different. I don't know if you guys picked it up. I don't know if it came across on camera. Hitting that bolt release, letting that bolt go home. She was sluggish for sure. Went into battery, everything ran fine, but it absolutely was I felt the speed of the bolt kind of barely make it into battery. Again, goes back to that weapon lube. Now that the system's warmed up, it should heat up that lube, and now it'll run fine until it gets back down to that temperature of the environment. So that is kind of something to think about as well. But when you first take a rifle from that cold and you're expecting that lube to run, something to think about if you guys specifically if you guys are running truck guns or a patrol rifle that might have been stored out in the vehicle overnight, something to consider. Even you getting your car started, it takes a while for that rifle, if it's in the back, to actually get warmed up, specifically if it's in the trunk or depending on where you might have it throughout the day. So something to think about. All right. let's go up and practice some cold hand reloads for fun. Let's do that. You know what? We'll actually just do it right here. I'm going to stay at this distance. I will work on some reloads from these kind of unconventional positions. That's what we're going to do. I'll just move you guys a little bit, maybe so you can see a little better. I don't know. I'm an amateur, guys. Bear with me. We'll make that work, right? Yeah. All right. Oh, yeah. Wearing non-waterproof pants that are not insulated. Kneeling in the snow is not fun. It is what it is. I'm not out here for real. I get to go home in a few minutes and warm up, so it's not a big deal. All right, I am going to do a tack mag exchange with an empty mag. We're going to go back to old school Instagram days of one reload once for a minute, just because that's what I already can be set up to do. I don't have to change my mags around at all. And there's nothing wrong with working on the manipulations like that, guys. Just running a rifle to build skill sets is important. A lot of guys get right into wanting to do like scenario-based drills, running guns all the time. They think that's what training has to be all the time. The best people at any individual thing, whether it's a sport or high-speed guys, they're going to do the basics over and over and over and over till they do it at such a high efficiency level that it's like stupid easy. So not a big deal to break down your training and do simple reps like this. Like even these barricades, if you've never seen one, this is a modified version of like a VTAC barricade. They're awesome. They're kind of industry standard for training a lot of different drills. Obviously, this is not anything that's real life. There's no piece of plywood that I would ever use for simulated cover or even a barricade. The chances of something like this being out in the real world, like specifically this, slim to none, right? So people get kind of lost in the weeds of it being like, oh, that's like, it's just a gamer thing. No, you're training a skill set, right? So anyway, there I am on my soapbox again. I know some guys are just new to this stuff, so I like to bring it up in case it's something that they've never seen before. So anyway, let's do it. I'm cold. I'm going to do, I'll take a position, take a shot. I already know it's going to go to bolt lock. That's fine. It's just a drill. I'm going to then do a speed reload, or a emergency reload rather, because I'm out of ammo, and send another round. We'll do it real nice and simple, and then I'll just do that a few reps. So let's get after it. That hurt. Yeah, it was sluggish there too. All right, now drill's done. I make that conscious decision to pick up an empty magazine. I get it. Some guys get weird about that too. It's just a drill. I'm going to do a tack mag exchange. I already have one in the chamber, so now this one can just go back into my pouch. Now I can get a lot of reps of that manipulation without spending a ton of money on rounds, right? So we can't always do 30 round mag dumps to get to one reload rep, right? So it is what it is. All right, let's do it this way. I'm going to do it from this one, then I'll move to a different spot this time. Nice. Felt pretty good, even though I can't feel anything. And what do I want to do with this time? We'll do some of these weird slots, like this one here. I don't know if you guys can see that well. That one can be kind of annoying. It's nice having the top dot because I can actually, I can use either eye depending on what position I'm at. But sometimes with the Ear Pro, it gets kind of annoying to do these positions, is what it is. Something I train around. But if you guys are using in the ear, or obviously real life, if you weren't wearing Ear Pro, it wouldn't be as big of a deal. But having that top dot makes it a little bit easier to find if I can't cram my face behind the optic in the stock. But let's do it. Whew. Oh yeah, I need a burn barrel out here. That's like definitely next on the list. That way I can warm up while I'm talking to you guys. All right, what do I feel like doing now? Kind of want to get up off the ground because it's cold. Let's do some unsupported. Actually, I changed my mind. I'm here, I'm already cold. I'm gonna do standing, kneeling, prone without touching the barricade at all. So I'm gonna use this more as like a simulated piece of cover that I'm not actually taking the time to build a position off of. Let's do that. I'm gonna do 3 rounds, so 1 from each position. Standing, kneeling, prone. You guys may or may not be able to see me in view. That's okay. All right, I got a couple rounds left. I don't know exactly how many. I'm just going to run this until I go dry. Just doing 1 round per position. Just again, get that skill in building and breaking down positions. I think it's an important skill. You guys can absolutely run this sort of thing dry at home. Obviously, be safe about it. Don't be stupid. Dry fire is super important. This drill itself, you're really not getting that much out of the shooting portion of it. I mean, you are obviously, because you're making hits, you're making impacts, you're seeing the rifle, feeling it recoil, seeing what it does, seeing what the reticle does, that sort of thing. It's awesome. Good skill set to do, work on. But you can absolutely do this for free, dry, whether it's inside or actually go somewhere and run this dry before running it live, just again to get a little bit more training value out of it without spending money. It's awesome. So anyway, less talking, more shooting. I don't know if you guys caught it or not. Kind of similar to what I was talking about earlier with running the safety. Hands are cold, and I don't know if I missed it or I just didn't subconsciously run it. From the one position, I did skip the safety. And, you know, not cool. Like, it's something I'm training to at a high level to not want to miss. I caught myself that I missed it, but I didn't skip a beat because of it, right? That's kind of what I was getting at when it comes to real life. It might not be the end of the world if you were to miss it. I don't want to train to a point where it's kind of half-assed, where I never know if I did or didn't. Like, I want to be at that conscious level, or rather a subconscious level, where I can be focusing on other things. Same time, I'm not going to sit there and like spend an hour diagnosing whether I did or didn't do it, right? So that right there, I recognize that I didn't run the safety, didn't skip beat, just kept going. Not the end of the world. Again, though, I don't want that to be common practice for me. Rifle's still pointed in a safe direction, still part of the drill. I'm not breaking any like of the significant firearm safety rules, not running it. However, it's still a no-no, especially if you're in training classes, that sort of thing. You know, run yourself at a level where you're consciously doing it until you get to the point where you can kind of rely on your brain kind of doing it in the background, if that makes sense. Anyway, I'm cold. Now I'm delirious, talking too much, that sort of thing. This thing ran pretty good today, though. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you watching. If you enjoy the content, please hit that thumbs up, that like button, share it with your buddies, comment down below. I really enjoy reading them. And that's about it for me. Till next time, guys, get out and train.